So, as I was waiting for more missions, so I could get more hourglasses, so I could open more packs, I decided to do some doom scrolling on Twitter, like I do, but my doom quickly turned into happiness as this beautiful deck blessed my timeline. And you might not know this, but I am a serious Raichu enjoyer, and as soon as I saw this deck list, I instantly knew I've been building Raichu wrong all along. And if we translate the post, they say that a Pikachu EX deck that won 45 matches in the battle event, deck is fun to play, attacking with Pikachu EX, storing energy with the ability of it says Magnezone, it should be Magneton. Magnezone isn't in the game yet, but anyway, storing energy on Magneton and then transferring it to Raichu. With Mathis, I think that might be Lieutenant Surge. For some reason, it translated it to Mathis, maybe? There are many come from behind victories, that's true, and the deck is very satisfying. Recommendation, and a fantastic recommendation this was. This is a beautiful deck. So if you want to, you should follow this person on Twitter because they post a lot of other cool deck lists too. And while you're at it, why not just follow me too? I spend way too much time on Twitter. But yeah, I love this deck so much because it's all in on Raichu. And Raichu's Thunderbolt ability costs 3 electric energy, but it does 140 damage. And here's the kicker, it says discard all energy from this Pokemon. So you're probably gonna KO something, but then you're gonna be down 3 energy. And that's why Magneton is so good, because Magneton's Volt Charge is an ability that can be used even if Magneton is on the bench. And what it does is it just adds an energy from the energy zone onto Magneton. So it doesn't count as your 1 energy for the turn, so you basically are getting 2 energy for that turn, and all that energy can, in turn, be funneled with Lieutenant Surge onto Raichu. So basically, Raichu plus Magneton plus Lieutenant Surge is just a really clean, neat, like 1-2-3 combo that's super powerful. Thunderbolt is like a tiny bit awkward, doing 140 damage, because you can't quite KO Mewtwo with that. Mewtwo EX has 150 HP, and so you really need to damage the Mewtwo with, like, often a Zapdos. You can also just deal 20 to it with like a basic Pikachu or a basic Magnemite. But if you can just damage Mewtwo once, then you can definitely knock it out with Raichu. This deck is really great against other Pikachu EX decks because Raichu can one-shot Pikachu EX. It also one-shots Zapdos. So you are pretty favored, and most of my matchups against other Pikachu EX decks that aren't playing Raichu, I usually feel like I have a pretty good matchup and I usually win. And then of course water is almost just like a free win because pretty much any electric Pika EX deck just totally owns water. It's already a fast deck, and then the weakness is just too much for water to overcome usually. So yeah, aside from Raichu, Magneton, Lieutenant Surge, that's the 1-2-3 combo. We just round out the deck with 2 copies of Pikachu EX, just because it's so OP, it's so strong. It's not too hard to get 3 benchers and just have Pikachu do the 90 damage, and it retreats for 1, so it's really easy to get it out of the active spot if you need to get Raichu in to KO something. And then we just play 1 copy of Zapdos EX because it's, again, just really strong. It's got 130 HP, and honestly, Peck is really good because sometimes we just need an extra, just small amount of damage so that Raichu can actually KO something. It KOs a lot of things, but not everything, so sometimes we just need to get in a couple little chips ahead of time, and Zapdos is really good at that with its ability to just peck for 1 energy. And the last of the deck is pretty straightforward. 2 Pokeball, 2 Professor's Research. 2 X speed is really important because this deck wants to be like very nimble, and this deck actually has a lot of play. Often you're stalling because you're trying to find a Lieutenant Surge, you're trying to build up a bunch of energy so that you can funnel it onto Raichu, and so you're stalling a bit, and often you want to get whoever is in the active spot out of the active spot before they get KO'd. Like, you should not be letting your Pokemon get KO'd. The Giovanni in this Japanese list, in my opinion, it's kind of a flex spot. It could be Sabrina or Giovanni. The problem with Giovanni is just that usually you're trying to, like, Lieutenant Surge, and then you can't play the Giovanni in the same turn as the Surge. But I feel like the Giovanni can be kind of good if you already have a Raichu with enough energy on it, and you do, say, want to, like, one-hit KO a Mewtwo EX, so it definitely does have its uses. But in general, I would almost just consider this a flex spot. It could also be Sabrina if you'd prefer. Anyways, the deck is super fun, so give it a try. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.